All right, back to Head in the Cloud with Matt.
Hi.
We're going to try and do 2 chapters here, chapter 4 and 5. So we'll start, major spoilers, you know how it goes. So chapter 4 is called Mad Dash. And, I did write something I wanted to mention is that there are darts. The dart game, I forgot to mention in chapter 3. You get the dart game,
yeah.
and then it's kind of fun. You get the luck Materia, but I don't think you get
that's
it
in chapter 5.
The next
chapter 5, you get it. Yeah, but I pretty much as soon as I discovered that, I started playing, and then it showed like your name where it was, and I was like, I need to get to the top spot.
Yeah,
so I just played it until I just played it until I got to the top spot. I was like, I need to do this.
That's my same mindset with stuff like that. It's like I need to do this now. I'm not going to come back to this.
Yeah. So chapter 4 is interesting because it's a whole chapter that never happened in the original game. It's a whole new.
That's correct.
Storyline. Like
I think
other.
There might be a couple things that were similar, but like not
possibly.
At least, like
I think the part where you jump off the. There's some part where you parachute off at the end that happens in the same vein in the 5th one.
I don't remember that.
But
let's
or in the original one, I think there's something where you jump off with parachutes. I can't remember what part it is, but there is. But I think it's different than what happens in this one.
I'll try and look that up. I'm not sure, but it starts with them. So Jessie wants to go on her own little mission, and you meet up with Wedge and Biggs, and there you go. Like, we got bikes. Let's go for a bike ride. Woo!
Well, she didn't want Wedge and Biggs to come at first, though. I think she just wanted Cloud. Then they figured it out, and they were like, "We know where you're going." So then they go to
those two.
They go to start going to where they're going, and then you're on a bike, and then it's nice because I wasn't expecting a motorcycle thing to be this early because in the original game there's a bike chase towards the end of the Midgar section, and this one it was way earlier, but it was honestly, besides better graphics and like a couple of new attacks, it kind of had the exact same feel as the original bike mission in the original game.
Yeah, it did.
The attacking was the same.
Felt the same. Yeah, you can do all similar. I mean, obviously much better made, but similar.
Yeah, because you attacked left and right. You attacked left and right. You still had to protect the other bikes. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, so you're going. Yeah, as soon as you start on the bike ride, you're getting attacked, and Jessie's on you. Your bike. Ramps you can take
it had very similar music to the other bike game, the bike mini game from the original one.
Did it?
I feel like it did, at least. It sounded similar. I could be completely wrong because it's already been like a week since I played that chapter, but I feel like it was similar. Maybe we could play a little bit of it in here at some point.
Let's say you're right. So what?
I'm planning on using a week.
And
so Jessie, the whole reason is that she thinks the bomb was too strong, so she wants to go on this mission to find different bomb materials. So we're gonna go to her house, then we run in to the guy. Oh yeah, Roche. Roche, is that how you pronounce it? The soldier?
Yeah, he's a soldier. Yeah, like a soldier first class, like badass soldier. And you start fighting him on the bike, and
the crazy bike moves. He's using the bike as a
yeah, and you can kind of do long-range attacks on him or do a spinning attack when you get close, which is pretty cool. Because your long-range attack is pretty much like Blade Beam or Flint Hazard. Blade Beam, yeah. So like it's pretty cool. You can do that, and then you beat him. And when you beat him, there's a pretty cool cinematic where you like jump onto his bike and break it, and then
tap into his engine,
and then flip back onto Jessie's bike, which is pretty much like awesome. And the whole fight scene, like Cloud just like they show like Cloud was badass in the original game, but in the new game, he just the cinematics of him fighting, you're like, oh yeah, he like a soldier first class. Like the way he fights is
He's
so.
soldier first class, all right.
Yeah.
Plus, just seeing it with the updated graphics, you can actually see what's happening.
Yeah, because in the original one they made it seem like he's a badass, but like when you're doing things in polygon form, you're like, what? I don't get it. Like
unless
it looked
was like
okay,
one
but
of the more high def. Like cutscenes.
And those they didn't really have any of them fighting. Like mostly it was just them like walking around, or they'd like run to a certain space or something. But there was like a little bit of action, but there was never really any like fighting in those.
Correct. So yeah, so that fight was cool. It was kind of a two-part fight. I mean, it's kind of like the theme. You get him down about halfway, and then he goes into like lightning. He's shooting lightning at you and all this stuff. Yeah, and then like you said, you beat him. Then you get to this little, almost like the Shinra Town, which almost reminded me of like the Dharma Initiative in Lost, if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was exactly what, because it was like all these like little line streets, but it was like one little corner because there was like the perfect playground.
Mm-hmm. And then there was basketballs that had like the Shinra logo on them.
Yeah.
And it is just kind of silly.
But it showed, and I think we mentioned this in a previous chapter, it did show how much the disparity in wealth is, because that was a Shinra town where people were making money and it looked like perfect. Whereas right underneath the pizza, there was poverty everywhere.
Right, like these people actually had real houses and parks, not just a wasteland.
yeah, exactly. And so they go to Jesse's house.
They go to have dinner, and what are they making?
Pizza
pie. Jesse's mom's. I don't know. I don't remember if they say her name, but her famous pizza pie is made.
I don't get. Like, were they just when they were developing the new game? Were they just making lots of pizza? So like
maybe because they just knew. I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, maybe in the Japanese version they subbed out the pizza and put like sushi or something. And there's just like the American version, they're just like, let's just put pizza everywhere.
But yeah, it's just like, it's so strange to me because like, honestly, it's not like pizza is not like, it's just so prevalent in this game. It's really kind of amazing to me.
It's interesting. I think maybe possibly because it's just such like a worldwide thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think, it's just so funny. Like, cause you think with all the pizza signs, maybe they would have been like, okay, we're going to have them do a different, we're gonna have them do
maybe change it up.
Yeah, for what they're making.
Maybe have a hamburger or something.
Also, in researching for this particular episode, I found out that Jesse's last name is Raspberry, which I was like I didn't know that before.
They do mention that in the game.
They might have.
I think. Because I didn't really know that either, and then I remember seeing that word, and I think it had to do with her mom or seeing like an ID card in the room that her dad's in. Yeah, so that's pretty much what they're going to her parents' house to do, because so you find out that her dad was a Shinra employee and is very sick, so she has Cloud sneak in from the back.
And obviously is probably caused by Mako radiation or something like that. The dad's really sick, and
he's got the Mako.
You go in and you can explore the room a little bit while there's somebody dying in the bed. And
it's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
It's like,
you take the ID card and stuff.
This is like a little card you can choose to read if you want to.
Yeah, so it's funny though, because I read two things. You could see a picture and a thing, and then you go to the other side of the bed and there's a Shinra document that you try and read, and Cloud says, I don't have time for this, so you don't know what it says. And I Googled it because I was wondering if other people chose to read that first and if you can read it. But I think it's just one of those things where there's a document there, but you never get to read it. So I was like curious as to what it said, but I don't think it says anything. But at first I was like, did I miss out on information?
Yeah, most likely not. Sometimes that's just like a game thing. But yeah, the card says like introduces you to her pretending that she's an actress, I guess, that she's sending them letters.
Yeah.
So you take the card. The dad doesn't notice anything. Obviously, he's in a coma. And at this point, once you do that, they're all happy and full about the pizza. They're rubbing it in Cloud's face that they had pizza.
Yeah, I wonder if Cloud's all pissed because he didn't get any pizza.
I would be, but he seems pretty emotionless.
Yeah.
Right now. And there's something I want to bring up. This was like a game feature. So when you change, I had like the game is very dark. So I went to change the brightness, and I thought it was cool that when they do that, it goes back into the game, so you can see it adjust in real time.
Oh,
so it was kind of a neat feature. I just
cool.
wanted to bring that up.
I like that. I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So I was kept going to areas like I can't see shit.
Yeah.
And then they did that, which I thought was
One
cool.
thing I dislike about this game every once in a while is that they'll want you to go to a certain area and I want to explore more stuff, and it will like you'll starting to go away and they're like, where are you going? And they'll like force you to go back to where they are, and I'm like, no, it's an RPG. I should be able to explore wherever I want. But then you are free to do that in other parts of it. It's just you got to wait till that certain aspect, but I don't want to miss anything, so I try and like explore like every nook and cranny, and sometimes it's frustrating because
I was doing the same thing. I wanted to go and explore, and then that little warning sign would show up.
Yeah.
No.
No, you can't do that. You didn't say the magic word.
But I doubt they would do that and then just have you not able to come back. I think in a lot of situations you just go back afterwards, but it is a little annoying. So after that, they go into like the scene where like the big fight scene, basically, and you're about to sneak in, but there's also like a training center, which is new. Like
and you get something for I did that, and you get something. It's like it's just like you go downstairs.
I think you get either an item or
where the factory is. Sure. Yeah, you get something, but it was something like minimal, but it was still cool to do because you could kind of like practice on fighting those like robot things. They were very quick. You like beat them in like 30 seconds, but and then you go into the main area
wedge and waiting for you,
and all hell kind of breaks loose. But it's really cool. Like there's a lot of cool cutscenes with the enemies. Before this, you're given your first summon materia. That's a big thing to mention. Yeah. And summoning's a little different in this game, where it's not. You can't just have as many.
At the end of last chapter, that she gives it to you. Jessie gives it to you.
Yeah. No, it was right after the bike thing, right? The bike scene thing.
I think she gives it to you. Well, when I get out of the room, when I wake up in the morning, or was it?
Oh, yeah, I think it was at the start of this chapter. I think that's what it was. It was at the very start of it. Yeah, she gives it to you at the beginning when you're in the room. And then you use it. Yeah, because I just want to make sure, because I don't want to... after a brief cutscene, you get your first... So you get it at the very beginning. We forgot to mention that. You get your first summon materia, Ifrit. Which is pretty cool. So it's a little different. They kind of combined, I think, what some of the summons have been in the later games, while also keeping it kind of true to Final Fantasy VII. So Ifrit was really kind of one of the first ones you get. That one, or I think it's Chocobo Mog is really the first one you get, but you get a couple of them, and once you start getting summons, you get a couple of them somewhat quickly. But Ifrit is the first one you get, and it's a little different because you put one on a weapon slot, so each person in your team can have one summon. And it doesn't happen all the time. You can't just summon it whenever, too, like in the original game. You have to have
certain fights.
It's either boss fight or like a certain fight will trigger a summon bar, and once that fills, then you can summon your summon, and then they stay out in the battlefield for a limited amount of time till that meter runs out, and then you can have them do small attacks, but otherwise I think they just attack with just like melee attacks, and then you can do once they leave, they do one big grand attack, which is, I feel like his is pretty reminiscent to what his attack was in the original game when he just came out and he did one attack. So pretty cool. And that actually mentioning that when the battle starts happening, when you first start battling all the soldiers.
Well, before the battle, though, I noticed I forgot to mention something, that you have that flashback with Tifa.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you see
the fan. And
yeah.
then it's like, oh, the fan.
And I thought that was really cool because it kind of looks, it looks like that. It looks like that old water tower windmill thing they have in their hometown.
What did you want to talk
and you see, him and Cloud, and Cloud's talking, Cloud and Tifa, and you're talking to Tifa about joining Soldier and going to
it's pretty much plays out exactly like the original game. He's talking about,
I think that,
I'm going to Soldier, I want to be like Sephiroth, and she's like, oh, Sephiroth's the tough guy everybody knows about.
The war hero.
Just to look for work.
And then you end up, so you see that, and then right after that, everyone, every time you go into one of those flashbacks, I love it, because every single time you come out and somebody's like, Cloud, are you okay? Like, he just keeps, like, blanking out and holding his head, and nobody's like...
Nobody really gives a shit.
Yeah, they're just like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then you go in, and soldiers start attacking, and... Yeah,
so you get attacked by multiple soldiers, turret guns show up.
That part was my...
Biggs has to help you out.
Yeah, that part was the part... I kept dying on that one part with the guns shooting at you from up top and all the soldiers, until I finally got it where I, like, quickly just kept using lightning on them, on the turrets up top. But at first it was like I kept getting attacked by them while getting attacked by all the regular soldiers, and the missiles just, I could not avoid them at all. So
it was tough. I don't think I fainted during that moment, but it was very difficult getting around all that enemy fire that was coming at you. And I had to keep running and like hiding in different spots, dodging. And when you dodge, your ATB bar doesn't go up, so it's like you have to like run around. And finally I got it, and it was fairly easy after that. But it also helped that after a little while, after the first round, then you get the Ifrit summon, and you can use him, which is pretty cool. And then you have a little comedic scene where Wedge chases away some of the dogs, and he gets bit on the ass.
Yeah. And then Roach shows up again. Roche shows up again, and you have to fight him one-on-one. Which actually, I didn't find that fight to be so difficult.
It wasn't bad.
I actually took care of him pretty quickly, which was not bad. I mean, it was a fun fight too, because I learned in that one, when you're in Punisher mode, really cool tip is that, like, when you're blocking, if you block right at the right second, you counter them and get like a flurry of attacks on them. So it kind of really helps you with that. It's a really good counter attack if you're in Punisher mode. It's a slower mode, obviously, but if you time it right, you can get some good hits in from that. So that really helped me in that.
Yeah, timing is everything when it comes to some of these battles.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do the timing perfectly, you just get like demolished. But yeah, it was a fun fight. He does a lot of different moves. He has the kind of two-phase thing where he changes up his attacks.
When you get him like
halfway down.
Halfway down, which a lot of the bosses seem to do. And then, so you beat him, and then
like this like allegiance shows up to fight, to like more bad guys show up, and then like this.
It's another version of it's another form of Avalanche, but I guess they're more radical than your Avalanche sect or something. You're having some kind of beef with them, and they're also like saying that they would try and kill Cloud because he's not part of Avalanche. He's just a mercenary that they hired or something like that.
Yeah, so they're trying to get him out of there.
The Wedge stays behind with them. And you guys, and you guys leave and find your way down to. So
this is where you kind of sneak out of the town, the Shinra Town, and then you do the parachute scene comes and which is fun. I enjoyed that scene a lot. It was very just like it showed some of their character, like their charisma and their silliness.
And Cloud's starting
Jessie's like nudging with Biggs.
On her,
and she's like, "Whoa, wait!"
I like how they put you with Wedge and Biggs and Jessie together. Yeah, but Cloud seems to be coming around a little bit more too. Like he's actually like not as cold all the time, and he seems to be really warming up to everyone.
Like the first, I think chapter was the first time he kind of opens up more because Jessie notices him like smirk, and she comments on it. It's like, oh, is that a smile I saw?
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Yeah. And then, so then you get back to town, and Jessie says, meet her at her house.
And you follow Wedge for a bit, and he shows you his love for cats.
Yep. And then you go to Jessie's house, and you go inside, it's either Wedge shows you the house, or
he shows you the house, and he's like, you can't go in. It's a girl's house. I don't want guys in there. They'll kill you. It won't end well for you.
Yeah, and you're like, oh. And so that also makes me think that Wedge tried to get into that house with all the girls, and something happened. Yeah. So, but then you go back there, and Jessie's waiting for you, and she gives you
she gives you
barrier materia.
And she gave I don't know if this is different for what happens in the chapter, but she gave me my Cloud a big hug and peck on the neck. It looks like a little smooch on the neck.
Was that?
It didn't look like a full-on kiss. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know if I got that. I know that because when I finished the bike one, she said that I failed the test because she said I was a bad driver, because I think it was because I had less, because I didn't have. I think I read somewhere that if you have under 80% health. Under 80 is you failed, 80% or above is you passed, and then like 90% or above you get a kiss or something like that. So.
Oh, I see. Because even
or
when
something like that, there was some
when the bike part ended, she even gave me like a big hug on the bike.
She gave me a hug too, but she still said I failed. Did she say you failed, or did she say you passed? You don't remember?
No, I didn't fail, but
yeah,
I can't remember what she said.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do great. I was probably close to almost half my health.
Yeah, maybe it was some. I don't know exactly what it was. I also died once on the bike, so that might have been what had happened too. I don't know. I don't know exactly the metric for that stuff, but I don't think I got a kiss. I think I got a hug though. But she gave me so she gives you the barrier materia, then you go to bed.
Well, she wants you to come back. She wants you to come back for dinner the next night or something. For pizza. That's what she was going to make her own pizza.
What the fuck, man? Everybody's making pizza.
I wrote it down, so it's true.
I mean, I'm okay with pizza. Like, I love pizza any time of day, all day. But, like, make something else, guys.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a recurring theme. I'm happy with it, you know.
I know, yeah. And then, so you go to bed, and you wake up the next morning, and you're in chapter 5.
It basically comes chapter 5. A couple side notes I wanted to mention was the bar, the 7th Heaven bar, has like a beer sign and a Texas sign in it in the original game.
Yeah.
Which is funny that they use like the word Texas in like this like different world game. Like there isn't supposed to be like the Earth.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention before after she uses the barrier material, before you go to 5, you go to the apartment and go to sleep, and then you wake up and there's all those Specter things are attacking the town.
Oh,
that's still in chapter 4. And like you go to 7th Heaven, and all the whole team is fighting these Specters. They can all see them, and you have to help them fight them off with Tifa.
Right, and Jessie actually gets injured by one of them after the fight's over.
And then so Jessie was supposed to go with Wedge and all them to the next mission, but because she's hurt, you go with Barret and Tifa.
Which is very different from the original game because they're all going.
Yeah, they go with you. Yeah.
Wee! Alright, so you start on the train, you got Barret, Tifa, and Cloud. They have another encounter with that Shinra employee.
Yeah.
It's not as intense because Cloud kind of butts in.
And Cloud's actually pretty cool about it because I think Barret understands that Cloud's actually not as bad as he thinks he is. And then, like, he's talking to him about it. He's like, just keep your cool with this guy, man. And then they go up to you go up to the front of the train and they do the ID scan. And that seems to go fine. But then they do another, like, ID scan pretty quickly after that, and you're found out to be an intruder on the train.
Got him.
So these robots bust
you get
into
attacked, which doesn't really happen unless you run out of the timer. In the original game, there's like a timer. And running,
but in this one, there's a bunch of robots, and you fight them, and they're pretty easy. You just use lightning materia on them, and they fucking die really quick. And
they're cakewalk, man.
And then you go
easy as pie,
and you jump off the train.
Pizza pie.
Yeah,
you get off the train. Barret jumps first this time. In the original game, he waits behind because he wants to make sure all of his team members get off.
Yeah.
I made a note of this, and he's like, but this time he's like, I'm going to show you how it's done. And he jumps. He's like the first to jump.
And then you all jump off, and then you're in the train tracks. And that's the part that really annoyed me, because every time I try and go really far up a train track, because I knew there'd be something there, a lot of times they'd be like, where are you going? That's not the right way. And then
there's a secret over there.
Yeah. And
I won't let you get to it.
So you run through and you kind of explore some stuff, and you find you actually find quite a bit of materia in this part, and you're trying to look for get through the
Heidegger shows up. They show like a Heidegger cutscene, and he's watching them. Watches
like it's
move.
It's almost like he's planning on all of this, kind of like he kind of alludes to that, like there's a whole plan, and so he's having you kind of
so you kind of he's still watching you, and then you have to follow like the stamp graffiti.
I took screenshots of every single one of those stamp graffitis. Because I remember in the last one when you had talked about, or like in one of the earlier ones, you had talked about that one stamp graffiti that you take.
So now it's becoming more prevalent, and
it's like every single one was like, and like I like how some of them included other little graffiti with it, like they graffitied over the stamp with other graffiti, or there was the stamp graffiti. Like one had like an alien spaceship above him, like
oh really? I didn't even notice that.
Putting something down. I looked at every single one because I wanted to see. So, because when I saw it, I was like, oh man, there's a lot of stamp ones here. So you follow stamps things through the train tracks, and you fight enemies along the way. Nothing too noteworthy. You find some materia and stuff, kind of similar to how I feel like it almost looked kind of similar, just better graphics to how it looked when you were originally in the trains.
It was very similar to that.
So then you finally get to a point where you get through all the train stuff, and you fight the crab boss.
Crab warden.
One other note that I loved too is that in like several parts you would walk through, and Barret would say something like, he would go like da 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 if you like finished a battle, or like you could hear him singing it. And so like I like how they put that little snippet in about the final when you beat a
the
battle,
victory fanfare, because I think even when he has the talk with the Shinra employee in the beginning, after Cloud calms him down, he sits down and he's like like to calm his nerves, he's like, he's humming it. You get through all the train stuff, and then you I think you're introduced to some new enemies, like the insect enemies.
I think those are in the next.
I think you see a couple of them.
Maybe
not.
I don't think you see them until the next chapter. You fool! You spoiled the next chapter.
Fuck.
So
you get to the crab. You get through the train shit. You get to the crab warning boss. He looks like the fucking crab. He's a cool fight. All the fights are really neat because this one takes like control of the environment a bit.
You have to dodge it. It's pretty easy to dodge. Like he electrifies the rails, but you can kind of just get in between them and wait for a minute.
It's not a very difficult fight.
That boss fight was actually fairly easy. I feel like there was, and that's the first time I really started to kind of really switch between people a little bit, where I like would switch between Barret and stuff to kind of get some other things. But you use lightning. He's a machine. You use lightning on him. He's pretty good. And when you beat him afterwards, Barret even says, did that boss look like something to you? And you're like, Barret, it's like a crab. It's like it said it on the name, so.
Yeah, Cloud. Well, Cloud responds directly, and he says, "Looks dead now."
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what would you say that last one looked like?
Huh? Well...
Looks dead now.
Yeah. Luke's dead now, yeah. So you beat that, and
they go down the elevator.
Yeah, and you get
that's,
to
the end of chapter 5.
Yeah, and then you're in under the pie trying to figure out where you're going next, which is like a pretty cool.
You're on like you're just underneath it or something.
Yeah, like you're on all this like construction that they're doing under.
But you're like, that's what
under the
chapter
plate.
6.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, I mean, chapter 5 is pretty short.
All these are really short when we. Yeah, it's just like it's just like fighting bosses and stuff. Bosses, I mean, fighting like random enemies and stuff. And the thing with it is that's interesting is that it's short, but it seems really long to me every time because every chapter I've been like combing over everything, so it takes me probably like 3 times as long as it should because everything I'm like trying to figure out and
trying to find
and everything.
Secrets. You're trying to like make sure you're getting everything you want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And I had one side note that in the original game you could spam items from your inventory. Like if you went into your item inventory, you could just hit potion and just like kept clicking.
Yeah, you can't do that now. No. That's one part that I don't really like. Like you have to use them as Cloud or somebody using them, and so
has to show his animation.
Yeah,
you have to wait for him to do it.
Yeah,
and go back into the menu and heal him again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not crazy, but it's just.
I'm curious if they're gonna have.
You spam them.
One materia that I want to see if they're gonna have, which is like was always my favorite materia, is all materia, because it always, if you linked that with something, like as soon as I got all materia, I would link it with whatever cure I had, so then I could cure everybody at once instead of having to cure each person. And I'm hoping that they still have that materia. And also for enemies too, like if you use like lightning you could just like zap all of them at once. So hoping that's still in here somewhere, but
I'm also hoping for this materia.
Man, what are you, Yuffie? You want materia, you son of a bitch?
I want all the material. I want to be have it spilling out. But no, well, further on in the game, I find a materia that's similar to that. And it's like a chain. It's like you attack with one and it bounces to another instead of doing them all at once.
Yeah.
But
maybe that's what they're doing now. But I still want the all materia.
That's one thing they're changing. They're changing things a lot in terms of materia.
The materia, yeah. I'm also interested too, like if they're going to do like, because I remember in the original game, when you got to a certain point, you could get the huge materia, which then would create, once you got all the materia for that class, you could go to that materia and it would give you like a W materia, which for that class, so you could get like W summon, where it then would have all the summons on that one materia, so you wouldn't have to take up materia with. So it was,
you could choose from that one.
Yeah, so you could just go to W summon and then you could summon all the summons. So I'm wondering if eventually they're going to have something like that for some of them, so you can just have all your magic on one materia, so you won't have to continuously make different choices. But who knows?
Probably down the line.
Yeah, I know early on
it was very primitive system.
Oh yeah,
it just like explodes all of a sudden. You can like 2 times summon double cut pizza slice.
Oh yeah, when you had like 4 times, I always had like 4 times cut on Cloud, so you just like kill everyone. Yeah.
Once you got those
and obviously some of those materia aren't really, and some of those materia aren't really needed as much because you have your skills, and then you can also just attack over and over again, normal attack. So 4 times cut really isn't the same. I don't know if they'll have that material.
So that's it. Like and prescribe.
Prescribe.
Peace be with you, everybody. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Enjoy your supper.
enjoy whatever you want in life.